So I'm having a bit of an identity crisis, ladies and gentlemen, because, as I said before, I've been in Ireland 14 years, man. You know, and people still see me as an American, and that's getting difficult for me, because after 14 years, I really don't know who I am, you know? And like after the documentary, loads of people who thought that I just arrived and worked in Abacababra or whatever didn't realize, you know, they were all like, if you don't like the fucking trays, fuck off back to your own country. And I'm like, fuck off back to my own country. I did the intercert, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I own 2 copies of Soundings. I mean, how many Americans you know can recite September 1913 word for fucking word? And it didn't come up that year. Oh, Yeats always comes up. Seriously. Not in my year, asshole. No, it's in the past papers. Yeah, past, motherfucker, past. I need the future papers. You know? Oh, and don't worry, I didn't buy Soundings new. I'm not a fucking idiot. We had this great teacher from North Tipperary. Ferociously Republican he was. He read the Republican subtext in everything, even Shakespeare. And he held up this copy of Soundings, the National Poetry Book of Ireland, and he said, "Don't buy that book new. 8 generations have used that book before you. My great-grandmother used to throw that book at the heads of black and tans. It was a magic copy of Soundings. She'd throw it at the heads of black and tans, it would hit them off the head, fall to the floor, and open up to memory of my father." Which, if you were paying attention, you would know is bullshit, because it wasn't written at that time. But you didn't notice, did you? Yeah, man, so I've been here a long time. It was a weird thing. Arriving here in 1990, I didn't know a thing about Ireland. I had to do the intercert in 1 year. Yeah? I remember I got into civics class. Mr. Quigley was the teacher, right? And he gave us 5 dates. And one of the dates was 1916, and we were supposed to say what they were, and I was like, I didn't know what 1916 was, and I had 1 year to learn everything about Ireland. It was amazing. Just to have to take everything in, and it was intercert history. There's no revisionism in fucking intercert history. It's all fuck the Brits history, you know? This is before you question whether De Valera was a bollocks or whatever, you know? This is when the fucking Brits needed to fuck off, the potatoes were black and it was their fault, and it was all very basic, and I was just like, this is fucking brilliant. I had to learn it all, you know? This new history, you know? And then all of a sudden, all the songs my parents used to teach me made fucking sense. No wonder these fuckers are miserable. So they had it horribly. It was a big awakening for me, you know? Because for the first 14 years of my life in America, I was Irish. You know, there's no Irish American in our life. We're Irish, you know? People say to you, what are you? You say you're Irish. Giancarlo Petrocelli would say he's Italian. And it was important to have that identity. Queens, New York was the most culturally diverse place on the planet. It's official. Look in the encyclopedia. It was very important for Giancarlo to be Italian, me to be Irish, because I needed to know why we were different. You know, why he had pubic hair when he was 8, and I was still doing a daily check at 14. You know, we were Irish, man. We marched on St. Patrick's Day. Every March the 17th, we'd march up Fifth Avenue under the Get the Brits Out of Ireland banners hanging out of the Jewish accountancy firms. Chinese people at the side of the road, who the fuck are Irish today? It was amazing, you know? Under their banner of County Down, because my mother's father was from County Down, and that's who we marched with, man. And it was amazing, because when one of the 6 counties went up, everybody got a little bit more woo, you know? It was a bit more tense then, you know? People would be like, up, down, up, down. And I didn't know in Ireland up meant like, yeah, go on, you know? So I just thought it was a really bad joke. I was like, oh, ooh. And it was at 14, for the first time in my life, I was American. Because here, you guys think I'm American. In America, they don't think I'm American. You know, when I come home with my fucking... Americans would be like, My God, what's wrong with that guy? He's epileptic or something. So I don't know who I am anymore, man. I'm having an identity crisis. And it's funny, you learn things about yourself at your lowest times, you know. And definitely one of the lowest times in my life in the last few years was the day that my €2 was stolen in the Aquadome. That was a tough day for me. And I just have to retell you the way the story was meant to be told, because there's a couple of things that are important here. The kids who stole and retrieved my €2, those kids were travelers. And the story was meant to be about me getting to know these traveler kids. And RTE wouldn't let us put it in. They wouldn't let us say the word traveler. And I was like, why can't we say traveler? That's the politically correct term. And they were like, no, they'll sue us. And I was like, well, that's a racist fear. And they were like, no, they'll do anything for a buck. And I was like, forget it. Now, the thing is, the way I told the story when we filmed the stand-up was totally different to the way it went out in the documentary. But as it turns out, I said to loads of people afterwards, you know, those kids were travelers and RT wouldn't let us say it, and everyone in Ireland went, we knew they were fucking travelers. Because as an American, I can't tell. As Irish people, you can smell them from 100 yards. You have this deep-seated thing within you. Polarized society, you know. So, on the day, I didn't know. You know, all I knew was I was down to my last €2. I had gone up to the queue of the Fallen Rapids, my most powerful position. I'd put the €2 on the ledge, and the buys turned up, you know. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but culturally, travelers don't queue. And that's fine. It's not a criticism, it's just the way it is. The boys fucking ran up the queue. I was like, whoa, 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 guys, what are you doing? And they were like, don't worry about it, it's grand, it's grand, it's grand. Now, I don't know, are you familiar with the power of a traveler wink? But suddenly I felt like everything was gonna be all right. A strange feeling of ease and calm just came over me. Now, of course, they heard me going, whoa, 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 and they were like, he's American! He doesn't even fucking know! Come on, lads, let's go wild! And they were on a mad one, you know? Young kids going mad, no big deal. But I didn't know they were correct. I didn't know they were travelers. As an American, I can't tell. And as an American, I never had the same issues with travelers that a lot of people in Ireland have. No judgments made, but I just didn't. When I came here, everyone was going on about fucking travelers. I didn't know anything about them. My first experience with a traveler was the tinker's daughter from the field. And I fancied the whole off of her. Is anyone man enough to dance with a tinker's daughter? Will you dance with me? Will you dance with me? And I remember thinking, whoa, I'll fucking dance with you. The Yank will dance with you. Get out of the way, Tig. You don't even fancy her. You're just looking to piss off your dad. I didn't have an issue with travelers. And people want to hate travelers, that's your business. I'm not even going to make criticism of people hating travelers, but the one thing that gets me about Ireland and travels is the overall acceptance of the hatred throughout the whole of society, in the sense that it's totally okay to shut a whole fucking town down when 10 of them show up for a fucking wedding. I'd rather lose money than fucking serve them bastards. That gets me a little bit. And I remember the day I realized how big and how deep this hatred was. I remember we were in St. Peter's, and St. Peter's had gotten into the Leinster final in the football. Big, big day for St. Peter's, right? Never happened before in any Wexford boarding school at that time, right? We were on our way up to Carlow, right? We just passed Bunclody, bus full of students. We passed this halting site, and the whole back of the bus, fucking redneck! And one of the teachers comes down and goes, lads, keep it down. So I just didn't get it. But one thing I did know was that, you know, Americans get a hard time or whatever. With the big, before George Bush, I still got a hard time. It's a different focus. And one of the things I used to get a hard time for when I came to Ireland first was Irish people used to say to me, oh, you Americans are racist fuckers, you know. What you did to the blacks wasn't right. What you did to the American Indian, it wasn't right either. they make cool posters. We don't have racism here. Half an hour later, fucking smelly knackers over there. But it was no surprise to me to find out that, Ireland had a bit of the old racism, because, I like, Irish people were racist back in America before I came here, and every summer I used to go home. It's no big deal. There's racism all over the world, I knew Irish people were racist. Every summer I'd go home to work on the building sites with the boys over illegally from Ireland, working for the New York GAA mafia, passing around social security numbers like joints. No, he's too old. Oh, this fella's perfect. Oh, he died 2 years ago. What a tragedy. It's a miracle. He'll be working this summer. The boys will be on the sites, and there's nothing better than watching a bunch of Irish fellas arrive in New York, not realizing that it's hotter than feckin' Africa in the summer. It's great when you see them. Whoa, this is fucking hot. What's this humidity? Is it the same as close? Because this is fucking claustrophobic. And they'd be working away. Bunch of Irish guys, and they'd be looking up at the scaff and they'd be saying, "Do you know what's destroying this country, Paddy? Fucking immigrants." The point being, I didn't know the kids were travelers, yeah? 3 times they skipped the queue. On the 3rd time, one of them jumps the railing into 2 feet of flowing water. I jump in, it's totally dangerous. I kick them all out, think I've done the right thing, stand back up on the ledge, €2, gone. Turn to the queue. They deal with that beautiful Irish way. They deal with it in that beautiful Irish way of dealing with travelers. They were like, typical. At least you know. But I didn't know. Didn't know they were travelers. All I knew I was going to find one of the little fuckers. I was getting my €2 back. And I found one of them. And I turned to him and I said, "Hey, one of you guys stole my €2. And like a reflex, he turns to me and he goes, "What do you mean you guys? We're all human beings at the end of the day." And it was at that moment I realized they were travelers. And I said, "Fuck off, you think you turned this as a human rights issue with me, bro? One of you guys stole my €2 and I want it fucking back." And he says, "Don't worry about it, I get it back for you, all right." And I left him off, because I didn't have the heart for the chase, You were chasing kids every day, no running, no bombing. I didn't have the heart for the chase that day, so I left him off. To my surprise, 2 minutes later, me €2. And that's why, now that we all know that they're travelers, that's why in the documentary I say, when he put that €2 into my palm, every last bit of prejudice I ever had in my body completely leaked out of my pores, fell to the floor, and was completely canceled out by the chemical reaction of the chlorine below. Because contrary to popular opinion, the traveler had just retrieved my €2. And then he says, "Now I'm going to get him to fucking apologize." I was like, "Nah, man, it's not necessary. This is enough." "No, I'm going to get him to fucking apologize." And I was thinking, what are you, the young PR for the traveling community? You fucking seen the cameras, you think, lovely, we got one up in the cell, people don't know. I started to get a little bit paranoid. We all have our fears and our prejudice. I started to get a little bit paranoid. I started to think, wait a minute, am I in the middle of some intricate traveler sting operation, The boys had gone back to the mum and they were like, "Mammy, they're making a documentary down the Aquadome with RT in American." A documentary, RT in American. Pavel, Jono, come here. Now, what we're going to do now, lads, small fella, you're going to rob something small of the American, something small like a €2. When he finds out, you make yourself known to the American. When he finds you, you tell him you can get the €2 back. When you get the €2 back, tell him you get this little fucker to apologize. When he apologizes, ask the American for a free pass. €8, €2, that's a 400% profit. Now go on. That's good business. But I give him the benefit of the doubt. He comes back. The little kid apologizes after a bit of coercion. And I give him the free pass. And that's where the story ends for you guys. But what's unfortunate is I became friends with this kid. He taught me loads of things. He became my friend. The whole time I talked to him, I have to say, I never saw him stand still, though, once. Anytime I be talking to him, he be taking it all in. He was cute, and I don't mean feckin' cuddly. He had knowledge well beyond his 10 years, I'll have you know now. The whole time I talk to him, he be taking it all in. He'd be looking over there, and he'd be like, there's somebody running over there. He taught me things, man. Because at the end of the day, I'd run. He was funny, man. There was 6 of them from his little posse, right? And I have to say, 3 of them were fucking mental. And he was always saying, "Come on, lads, you're ruining for the rest of us." He was a leader, man. And he was a great kid, you know. And I have to say, that's one thing I learned about travelers from my time in Tralee. If you treat a traveler with respect, they will die for you. But if you fuck with a traveler, you will die. It's one thing I learned, yeah? And at the end of the day, I'd run out. I didn't have enough. The back week was killing me. I didn't have enough money. I was on the minimum wage. And this kid taught me little tricks to survive, you know? Because at the end of the day, if you're going to learn to live off the scraps of society, go to fucking experts, yeah? And he's the one that taught me about taking the euros out of the lockers. People would forget their euros. They obviously didn't need them, and I would take them. We had a deal. He was like, you get the high ones. Now, I don't know if he was taller, would we have come to that arrangement, but at the end of the day, I was making 6 and 7 euros off those lockers thanks to him. That was a really important part of, you know, how I was surviving. And not only that, he became a friend. So I'm living off my 6 and 7 euros a day. It became so important to me, right? So then one day, the fucking Dublin scumbags come down with the Burberry hats. What do you think of me Burberry hat? Well, I think it's fake. That's what I think. And I have to say, I mean, I know we're in Dublin and everything, but I had a lot of problems with the teenage Dublin boys, you know, because they got that fucking image on them, you know? They be coming down, they think the urban life is the only life, and the country people are fucking culty fucking Egypts. The Aquadome, is it? Where's Fungi? Aquadome, me hole. You want to check out the National Aquatic Center? You know, they come down with that walk on them, you know, that national scumbag walk of Ireland, you know. I never understood that walk. It's all the future troublemakers of Ireland. They walk like that. It seems a highly impractical walk for those that will be running from the Gardaí in the future. Oh, fuck, it's the old Bill, run! Oh, fuck! Hurry up! I can't, I look cool. So they come down to the Aquadome, and straight away, they're at my lockers, man. So I'm up to them right away, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing, man? That's stealing. And one of them looks up at me and says, fuck off, you Yankee prick. So I sick the travelers on him. That's right. I said, hold on a second, I got somebody I want you to meet. Have we got a problem, my friend? Sorry about that, man. Didn't fucking realize, like, you know. Obviously, this is your turf. We don't want to swim against the metaphorical current, like, you know. We'll leave it. That's right. Nobody fucks with the travelers. You got that deep-seated fear within you. Nobody fucks with the travelers. That's why I'm starting the first traveling hip-hop band with my boys from Tralee, representing the marginalized, disadvantaged, the real essence of hip-hop. We're going all over Ireland in a caravan with hydraulics up in that shit. Bouncing from Tralee to Tamun to Tuam, all over Ireland, selling out gigs everywhere. We're finishing up in the Point. Huge gig. Sold out, monstrous show, but unfortunately that'll be the first time the Point is mysteriously closed for renovations. Strange thing, you know, yeah, it's changed considerably, obviously, since the documentary and since being on the Late Late, because now I get accosted every day by 16-year-olds with picture phones. Picture phones are the curse of my existence. Every day they come at me 5 and 6 strong with their feckin' picture phones. Can we get the picture on the picture phone? Can we get the picture on the picture phone? I get freaked out, man. I don't know what they are. I don't know who they are. I don't know what's going to happen, you know? So I had to get a picture phone myself, you know, just to sort of protect myself. So they come at me and I'm just like, get the fuck back. I got one too. Get back. Ah, don't take a picture of me. I look like shit. Sometimes I see them like snipers, you know. I'd be walking around town. I'd stop on Grafton Street to have a chat with somebody I know, and I'd look over 30 yards away. There'd be some 16-year-old trying to sneak one, you know. They come at you. They forget themselves as well, you know. They're shy, little 16-year-old girls. They don't know, you know, and they come at you. You know, like before they have a chance to realize what they are, who they are, and they jump at you. Can we get the picture on the picture phone? Because you're the fella off the telly. And that telly changes you. Like, I haven't changed. I'm still Des, you know, pretty normal dude. But once you've been on the telly, everybody's fucking, oh. My whole day is spent walking around town with people going. And the friend will look and go. "16-year-olds, they come up to you, you know, and they're like, can we get a picture on a picture phone? So I'm like, no problem, you know, I don't care. It's quite nice to be liked or whatever, you know. And so I'll get the old arm around them. And by the time I get that arm around them, they have realized that they're shy 16-year-olds. And every time the arm goes around, straight away, they're shaking. And I can feel them shaking, you know. Whoa. Freaked out. I can feel their hearts beating and everything, like hearts pounding. Boom, 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 boom. Obviously, I'm not feeling their heart pounding. They're freaked out, so they hand the phone to the friend to take the picture. Now, this is going to be a problem in a moment, because the friend is what I like to call a person on this planet who is a Nokia retard. It's not a Nokia. It's not a Nokia. I don't know how to use it. It's not a Nokia. Hurry up and take the picture. He's busy. Because people always assume once you've been on the telly, you're busy. Which is nonsense. Just because you're on TV doesn't mean you're busy. Little do these little girls know that I've been walking up and down Grafton Street all day, waiting for people to fucking recognize me. Bored out of my head, waiting to get the old arm around some young. Hurry up, he's fucking busy. No, hurry up, for fuck's sake, he's fucking busy. I can't, it's not an Nokia. You fucking bitch, I'm fucking ruined it. Hurry up, it's fucking busy. So I just say, never mind the picture, you two get together, I'll get a picture of you. My phone is full of freaked out 16-year-olds. If the guards get a hold of it, I'm fucked. So I was on the Late Late. Woo, big deal. People still watch the Late Late, that's for sure. People coming up to me, geez, you're on the Late Late, fair play to you. And when people notice you're on the Late Late, it's immediately followed up with this sort of strange denial that people think they need to. Geez, I saw you on the Late Late, fair play to you, did very well. No, I wouldn't normally have been on a Friday, no. I was just saving money last week. This week I was hammered on me head on the Friday. I have a life, you know. I'm not a fucking Late Late watcher, no, normally. People automatically deny. Geez, I saw you on the Late Late, fair play to you. Huh? You must have said fuck 50 times. That's what so many people noticed about my trip to the Late Late. That I said fuck loads. And people wanted that you said fuck on the Late Late. You can't say fuck on the Late Late. That's the way people want it. They want the Late Late to be backwards here in Ireland. They want RTE to be backward. They want their institutions to be backwards here in Ireland because Irish people love hacking away at their institutions. We can't say fuck their shit. Oh, their shit. Everyone loves hating RTE. I can't figure it out in this country. Everyone loves hating RTE. Even when you do good things on RTE, people won't even give it credit. Your documentary was good on RTE. For RTE, it was fucking amazing. Yeah, man, it's weird. People watch Pat, though. They don't watch you. You know, that's the thing. Loads of people come up to me and they kept talking about things Pat did while I was on. Geez, you freaked Pat out. You made Pat laugh. Oh, this, that, and the other. Pat. They don't watch you. In fact, I don't even think you're on there to perform. You're just on there to create challenges for Pat to fuck up. So everyone can go, ooh. Oh, and they go to work, Jesus, oh, God. People are very hard on Pat Kenny, and I don't think he's half as bad as people make out. People love to hate Pat, and on 3 different occasions here in Vicar Street, people have heckled while I've been talking about Pat with, bring back gay. 3 different people, totally unconnected, bring back gay. Now that is bullshit, okay? Because when I came to Ireland, August 26th, 1990,